Hey everyone, welcome back to Kodey Podcast. I'm your host Kieran, and I'm really excited to dive into today's topic because it's something that can truly transform the way your organization works. We're talking about breaking down data silos and democratizing data. Sounds fancy, right? But trust me, it's not just another buzzword. This is about making data accessible to everyone in your organization, not just the folks in IT or the data science team. So let's start with the basics. What exactly is a data silo? Picture this. Your marketing team has a ton of customer insights, things like buying patterns, preferences, and feedback. But that data, it never leaves the marketing department. The product development team, who could use that data to create better products, doesn't have access to it. That's a classic example of a data silo. The data is stuck, isolated within one part of the organization, and it's not helping anyone else. Now, you might be thinking, why is that such a big deal? Well, let me tell you. When data is siloed, you're not seeing the whole picture. You end up with fragmented information, which leads to fragmented decision making. And in today's fast paced world, that's a huge missed opportunity. Imagine if everyone in your organization, whether they're in sales, customer service, or R&D, had access to the same data. Think about how much more informed their decisions could be. That's where data democratization comes in. It's about breaking down those barriers and making data accessible to everyone who needs it. But here's the thing. Data democratization isn't just about giving everyone a login to the data warehouse. It's about creating a culture where data is treated as a shared resource, where people aren't just allowed to access data, but are encouraged to use it, question it, and contribute to it. Let's talk about how this can impact innovation and collaboration. When data is democratized, it opens up a whole new level of cross-functional collaboration. For example, imagine your sales team notices a new trend in customer behavior. If they have access to the same data as your product team, they can share those insights immediately. And instead of waiting for a quarterly review or a formal meeting, the product team can start brainstorming new features or products right away. That's how innovation happens, by breaking down barriers and letting ideas flow freely across the organization. Another big benefit of data democratization is that it empowers your employees. When people have access to the data they need, they can make better decisions on their own. They don't have to wait for someone else to give them the information. They can go out and find it themselves. This leads to faster decision making and a more agile organization. Of course, democratizing data isn't without its challenges. One of the biggest concerns is data governance. How do you ensure that the data is accurate, secure, and used responsibly? This is where having strong data governance policies in place is crucial. It's about finding the right balance between accessibility and control. Another challenge is making sure that everyone has the skills they need to work with data. Data literacy is a huge part of this. It's not enough to just give people access to data. You also need to invest in training and education so that they know how to interpret and use that data effectively. So let's get deeper into data democratization, specifically how you can start making it a reality in your organization. Now, this isn't just about flipping a switch or installing some new software. It's a process that involves careful planning, cultural shifts, and the right tools. But don't worry, I'm here to guide you through it step by step. The very first step is to assess your current situation. This might sound simple, but it's a crucial foundation. You need to get a clear understanding of where your data is currently housed and who has access to it. Start by mapping out the data landscape within your organization. Which departments or teams hold the data? Is it locked away in marketing, hidden in the IT department, or scattered across multiple silos? Identify these silos and take note of the types of data each team controls. Once you've identified the silos, the next question is, who has access to this data? Are there specific gatekeepers? Maybe the marketing team has rich customer insights, but that data never makes its way to the product development team. Or perhaps the sales team is sitting on a goldmine of client feedback that the R&D team never sees. Understanding these access points, or lack thereof, is critical because it highlights where the gaps are. After you have a clear picture of your current data landscape, the next step is to implement data governance. This might sound a bit daunting, but it's essentially about creating a set of rules and policies that dictate how data is accessed, used, and managed within your organization. Data governance is the backbone of data democratization because it ensures that while data is accessible, it's also accurate, secure, and used responsibly. When developing your data governance policies, you'll need to address several key questions. Who should have access to which data sets? What are the security protocols for sensitive information? How do you ensure that data is consistently updated and accurate across all departments? And importantly, how do you prevent misuse of data? Once these policies are in place, make sure they are clearly communicated across the organization. Everyone from top management to entry-level employees needs to understand these guidelines, but governance alone isn't enough. For data democratization to truly take root, your employees need to be equipped with the skills to use data effectively. This brings us to the next crucial step: investing in data literacy. Data literacy is all about empowering your employees to understand, interpret, and use data in their daily work. It's not just the data scientists who need these skills. Everyone in your organization should have a basic level of data literacy. So, how do you build data literacy? Start by offering training programs tailored to different levels of expertise. For beginners, this might include workshops on understanding data visualizations or interpreting basic analytics. For more advanced users, you could offer courses on data analysis techniques or even basic programming skills in tools like Python or R. The goal here is to make data less intimidating and more accessible to everyone. Another important aspect of fostering a data-driven culture is encouraging collaboration and data sharing across teams. It's one thing to have access to data, but it's another to actively share insights and work together across departments. This can be encouraged by setting up cross-functional teams that tackle specific projects with a data-driven approach, or by creating internal platforms where employees can easily share data insights. Celebrating successes that come from these collaborative efforts is also key. When teams see the tangible benefits of using data, like improved products, more efficient processes, or better customer satisfaction, they'll be more motivated to continue using data in their work. Lastly, you can't talk about democratizing data without mentioning the tools that make it all possible. The right tools can make a huge difference in how accessible and useful data is across your organization. This could include data visualization tools that turn complex data sets into easy to understand graphics, or collaborative platforms like dashboards where teams can share and access real-time data insights. It's also important to invest in software that integrates data from different sources into a single cohesive system, making it easier for everyone to access and use the data they need. But remember, tools are just that, tools. They're only as effective as the people using them. That's why it's so important to pair the right technology with the right training and governance structures. When all these elements come together, you create a powerful environment where data isn't just accessible, it's actively used to drive innovation, improve collaboration, and ultimately make better decisions across the organization. Remember, data democratization isn't just about technology, it's about people and culture. It's about creating an environment where data is seen as a shared resource that everyone can use to drive success. So, there you have it, a deep dive into the world of data democratization and why it's so important for breaking down silos in your organization. If you're looking to boost innovation, improve collaboration, and empower your teams, this is a great place to start. Thanks for tuning in to Kodey Podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with your colleagues. I'm Kieran, and I'll catch you next time, where we'll be exploring another exciting topic in the world of data. Until then, keep breaking down those silos and democratizing your data.